Welcome to this Tutor to You Sociology topic video looking at childhood, focusing on changes in the status of children. Over the past 50 years, the status of children has changed dramatically, from being seen and not heard to being the centre of society, and sociologists look to examine the reasons for these rapid changes. Historically, Philip Aries researched the development of childhood from the medieval ages to the late modern era, and found the development of childhood had undergone many changes, from seeing children as mini adults to separating children from adult life. But it is changes in the experience of children over recent decades that is of interest to contemporary sociologists. While many argue this position has improved, there are differences between childhood experiences across cultures, across gender and class boundaries, and between different ethnic groups that need to be considered. While it's not possible to talk of a universal experience of childhood, we can focus on the change in the status of children in the UK over the past 50 years. In the UK, there is a common acceptance that society has become more child-centred, albeit with some variations between different social groups. Children's needs tend to be placed above those of adults in most families, although some sociologists argue that there is an element of control over children's lives in exchange. Others will suggest that despite being at the centre of society, the adult world is encroaching upon children's experiences, and that the distinct period of childhood is disappearing, as children are being introduced to the adult world before they are ready. However, others would argue that aspects of childhood, particularly financial dependence, are being extended into young adulthood, an impact of the clipped wing generation. Despite these different views, sociologists can agree that childhood has changed, but why? There are a number of reasons for the change in the status of children, and we're going to explore these in this video. Firstly, there is the extension of compulsory education to 18 and expectations of entering higher education. Secondly, we'll look at advances in technology and then attitudes to relationships. Finally, it's worth examining the role of the media saturation and capitalism in providing children with a higher status in society. One reason for an increased status of children is the extension of compulsory education to 18. In previous generations, children would leave school at 16 and in some generations earlier, which allowed families to utilise their earning potential. But with the extension of compulsory education, this has extended financial dependence on parents beyond that. This has been further impacted by the removal of EMA, the Education Maintenance Allowance, and student grants, which places financial burdens upon parents if their children want to study for further qualifications. With the increase of student fees, more young people are opting to live at home and study locally, and with some universities even offering online tuition, this cuts costs for the student, but places more of a financial burden on parents as children stay at home into their early 20s. Another aspect that has changed the status of children is technological changes. With children having increased access to the adult world through the internet and greater connections with others through social media, this has led to parents increasing the monitoring of children to ensure that they are protected. However, the media has also provided a benefit to parents with increased use of technology as a tool by which they can keep children entertained. The use of digital babysitters such as streaming services, TV and tablets have meant that children have increasingly become consumers of media. They have also become the producers of media, with many social media sites such as YouTube and TikTok centred on the activities of other children. Other technological advances have meant that parents can use digital surveillance to monitor their children, from monitoring their physical location through GPS on phones to monitoring their activity in cyberspace. Parents are paying more attention to where their children are. Finally, reproductive technology such as IVF also allow people to become parents who may not have been able to do so in the past, all of which adds up to the children being seen as an investment. A further impact on the status of children has been the changing nature of relationships. Children are no longer the product of an economic arrangement between males and females, but are an expression of the love between two people. While some sociologists argue that relationships are more insecure in contemporary society, the children born of those relationships remain a constant. Being somebody's partner is less permanent than being somebody's mother or father, which gives that relationship higher status. As a result, the needs of children are more likely to take precedence over the needs of a partner, highlighting children's improved status in society. And finally, children's status has changed because of media saturation and the role of capitalism. Children have seen their status elevated as they are economic consumers. Children's economic activity has increased in recent years, in part due to the impact of pester power. Children's internet sites, TV, online applications all carry overt and subliminal advertising for children to consume. The message that is promoted to parents is that their child will be happy if they have the latest toy or gadget, and this promotes their status in society while simultaneously serving the needs of capitalism. Children are active consumers and will consume more due to the physical and emotional range of changes they will go through. Children grow and mature, meaning they need to buy new products, whereas adults are more stable, and this makes them more of a benefit to companies who will gain repeat business at more frequent intervals than adults. That concludes this Tutor to You Sociology topic video looking at childhood, focusing on changes to the status of children. Thanks for watching.